So today in this video we are going to install Tor and basically learn everything which is related to Tor. So first of all you have to install Tor. For that you just do install Tor, at least in Fedora. For Ubuntu users you have to use apt install Tor, and you will be prompted with password as you see here. Like if you use sudo, if you are already root you won't be asked password. But after installing Tor, you need some configurations. So first of all, it has to install Tor. The Tor works out of the box. So what you can do is sudo systemctl start Tor. What this will do is it will start the Tor service, and you can basically see that it has started by using systemctl status 2. So you can see like it has 100% bootstrap. So what you have to do is you have to basically change the proxy settings in your system. That is, here go to wire settings, then go to network proxy, then click on settings, and you click on manual, and you can basically see that there should be a sock spot if it is enabled. So it is actually using the default config. Let's basically see the default config, and nano is not found. So yeah, why not use Vim? Vim is also a very good editor. So let's use Vim, and Vim is also not found. So let's use something like get it. This is a fresh install of Fedora. So let's start. Right. So you can see the config is pretty neat. Like there is nothing in it. So what we have to do is we have to grab a new config. We have to have a new config. So for that I will be doing sudo gedit /etc/tor/tor-rc. So yeah, it can't gedit like as root. So what I will do is I will just use tor-rc here, and I will move that later, and don't use sudo, right? Sometimes gedit doesn't work with root because it is not designed to work with root. First thing I have to do is I have to get the tor-rc. For that I have to basically go to my configuration here in the Arch Linux, etc//tor. Then here I should find the tor-rc. Opening it should basically give us this thing. This I have handmade, like kind of. I have copied and pasted some of the code and made this thing. So let's copy this thing and paste it here. As you can see, I am using VMware and kind of like supports the clipboard sharing, so it basically works. And let me save this thing, close it, then move the tor-rc from here to /etc/ for that I need sudo access. So etc/tor/tor/tor-rc. Let's move it there. Everything I do, every file will be like linked in the description, so you don't worry about that. And yeah, you should basically kind of have Tor basically kind of configured, right? So systemctl restart Tor. So for that we have to use sudo. If you don't use sudo, it is not a problem, it will work. But if you are using sudo, then it is better because it won't prompt you for the password. Status of Tor basically says that Tor service hold off time over schedule restart or stop anonymous. Okay, great. Okay, fail to start anonymizing overlay over network for TCP, right? So it is saying that it is not able to basically anonymize. So let me try running normally, right? This is what I do normally. Like I basically do sudo Tor. So yeah, let's do that. Like why not do that? It just works, and you can see that Tor has 100% bootstrapped, and it should be starting a SOX proxy on basically 9050. So 9050 should be entered here. If I didn't forget to basically enable the num lock, I should have typed it already. And SOX host should be something like 127.0.0.1. that should basically be localhost. And yeah, this should be basically configuring the VM to basically use the Tor, right? So now if I go to what is my IP address.com, it should basically say my IP address, like kind of, but as I am using the Tor, it is basically seeing that my system is basically connecting from some other IP, and it is having so much traffic from it, so it is giving me a captcha, and I have to basically pass the captcha, and probably it will give me more info like this. So yeah, hope that this is correct. Most of the time I get it correct, but there are some times when I don't get it correct. I hope this is shown. Okay, great. Yeah, right, I am in. So that is that. We are in, and what is my IP address.com is loading, and you can see that this is stored exit node, and it has basically found that I am using a proxy, but it is not the point of this video. You are actually protected now, but are you completely protected? That is actually a question. Like, you are not completely protected. You have to use a VPN plus the Tor to be fully anonymous in the internet, and don't do illegal activities in Tor, right? So yeah, what does Tor do, right? Tor gives you access to dark web. Does it give access via this Firefox? Probably no, because you are not using Tor DNS. So what you have to do is you have to use Tor DNS to basically have that. Or what you can do is you can install proxychains. So proxychains, for installing that, we will use another terminal. So file, new window, right? Or Alt Control T if your distribution supports it. And what you do is yum, like my packet manager is yum. So yum install proxychains. I hope Fedora has that in the repository. You should have that, like most of the distributions have that. So yeah, it is installing proxychains.-ng, so it works, right? So we have installed proxychains. It should be default configured to use Tor, so there is no configurations whatsoever required. So proxychains space whatever you want. For example, if I close the Firefox, I can basically use Firefox here. So it is saying that proxychains command not found, right? So proxychains 4, right? Now you can see that it is okay, right? Proxy server is refusing connections for some reason, right? Haven't tried it with these kind of settings. I mean with the Firefox, right? So yeah, right. For that, I think I have to disable the proxy here. So let me do that right now. Preferences.
Somewhere here should be having the proxy settings like connection or privacy, right? I'll be editing this part, I think.
Right. Yeah, there was network security, like here itself. I don't know why I didn't see that. Like, yeah, so no proxy, right? That should basically give me access, I think. Right. So yeah, it gave me access. So what is my IP address.com, right? So it should basically give me the like same IP kind of. Let me open the other terminal. Just a moment. You can see that all the requests are basically like forwarded to this proxy chain, right? And it is like working perfect, right? But what this will also do is kind of redirect all the DNS, right? So you can see I am still using proxy even though the settings is set to not use proxy, because I have called the Firefox via proxy chains, right? So what should I do now, right? You know that DuckDuckGo basically have DuckDuckGo Onion. So basically have an Onion website, and I forgot the URL, who will remember the URL, right? These URLs are pretty big and kind of like they don't make sense. So let's search that. I mean, let's search in DuckDuckGo, because DuckDuckGo basically works better with proxies. And yeah, right, it is basically taking too much of time. Right, you can see all the DNS requests being forwarded here. Right, this is pretty slow. So yeah, another trick in the sleeve is use ARM, right? So for that, I would recommend like kind of going to, yeah, again open a terminal, right? So for that, just click new tab or new window. I will prefer new window than new tab, right? So we have terminal right here, and do sudo yum install ARM and enter the password here. Hope that the distribution supports ARM. So it doesn't support ARM, right? Great. So now I am kind of in a screwed environment, right? So let's like talk about ARM later, right? So DuckDuckGo onion, right? So this should basically give me access to DuckDuckGo onion URL, maybe. Normally it does. Normally it isn't like this slow, but kind of is slow now. Like whenever I am recording videos, sometimes like the universe kind of reacts negatively. So yeah, that is it. Yeah, see, right, visit our onion site, right? And you can like, okay, right. So this happens because there is some issue like with the DNS resolution. So yeah, like you can't basically like go to any onion URL. So for that you have to use, I think, Tor browser itself, right? You have Tor browser, right? So what you can do is you can actually kind of SSH and stuff like that, right? So one thing I have is I have my own onion server. So let me basically get it, right? So for that I have to go to a terminal. First of all, Alt Control T to open a terminal in my Arch Linux distribution. Sudo -s because I have to be root. Then probably I have to go to cd/var/ what is it? var/lib/tor/ does it have to? Yeah, bro. And hidden services /get hostname. So yeah, this is my hostname. I can copy this thing and basically go to this thing, and one thing I can do is SSH to my home machine, right? So this is basically hosted on the dark web, as you can see, and what I can do is SSH. First I am doing it like dumb way, right? SSH abidam at this website, and it won't work because it doesn't resolve that thing. So what you have to do is proxy change that. Proxy chains for that thing. So you should basically resolve it. Like you can see that it is resolving to some address, right? You can see like 224.0.0.1. It has linked that thing to my local machine. So now I can basically put S and kind of like put the password here, and it should work. And there is no password authentication, so don't try it because I have public key authentication, right? And it won't work. Like the password won't be accepted, right? So you can see that I have connected to my machine, right? So what if I have to share whatever hosted in this machine to the web? Actually, I am actually doing right now. If you go to the / then go to var, then lib, you can see that I have Tor here also, like, and I am not able to cd into that because it is restricted directly. So let's be root and kind of go to Tor, right? And you can see like hidden services, and you can basically kind of see the host name, right? So let me print the host name right now, right? So yeah, right, this is basically sharing it, right? So what did it basically share, or why did it share, right? You have to basically look at my configuration, like etc/store/store/rc, right? So first of all I have to cd to that and kind of like use get it to open tor rc. So yeah, you can see that I am actually opening a port like 9050, which is basically SOX port, and there is a control port 905, and these are the standard ports. So like it is jelly bean, and kind of the ARM is not working. So let's search how to install ARM later in this video, right? And these are not at all required, like kind of those are there, right? This is what we are looking for, right? Here you can see the hidden service directory. You can see war/sleep/tools/hidden ssh_service. Like it can be anything else. Like it just creates the directory, right? This directory should exist until this here, like this parent directory should exist. This directory will be automatically created, and yeah, you can see that 80 of the external port 80, right? External port 80 means like the onion website is to 80, should point to localhost is to 80. So localhost is to 80 is basically bounded to this thing, right? Or what do we call bind it, right? And you can change it to whatever you want, like 8080 or something else, and it will basically like if I put here 8080, if I type this website is to 8080, it should basically point to 80, right? And that is perfect, right? It is totally perfect. And you have 22 port 20 also, and like it is forwarded. So what is port 22, right? Port 22 is actually SSH, and this is the same config I am running in the Arch Linux distribution. So you can see that I have basically tried to connect to my Arch Linux distribution by using SSH, and it worked because I am sharing this port 22. And as you can see, like localhost, there is no page. I am pretty much sure that there is no page. So let me open up Firefox and kind of like go to let me close this because I don't have to reveal my real IP, right? So yeah, let me go to 127.0.0.1, right? Yeah, so here you can see it is not connecting, so I don't have anything running in that. So let's install Apache server, right? Apache 2 yum install, right? I forgot install. Let's put install right now. Install Apache 2, right? So it is not seeing any Apache, so let's go with Apache, right? So does it have anything other than HTTP, like HTTPD? Okay, right. So these things are basically already installed, right? So yeah, HTTPD is already installed, so it's just a matter of systemctl chart HTTPD, I guess, right? And I'm already root, so I don't have to do anything, right? Yeah, you can see that the Fedora has already run the HTTP server, and you can see like it is powered by Apache. So I don't have to install Apache, but you install HTTPD. So it is basically, I think, kind of Fedora has already modified this Apache to basically suit Fedora environment, and Fedora is really good for server grade system. So yeah, that is that, right? So we have a server running at port 8080. So how to access this website, right? We have basically seen that we are hosting on this Onion website. So let me get it and kind of put a gedit here, get a gedit, control M, new, right, paste it, right? So that is good. Now we have to visit the website, right? For that we can't use just Firefox, we have to use Tor browser. So for that we will go to google.com, and I am not using a proxy, so it should basically give me like full bandwidth, and we will go and search for Tor, and you can see it is basically got me to torproject.org, who is basically the creator, right? So download Tor. You can see Tor browser, Linux 64-bit, right? Download it. It has basically kind of found my distribution. So ABC works. I think this is like all in one product. Like you can run it in any distribution whatsoever. Like it doesn't matter if you're using Fedora, Ubuntu, whatsoever. It just works, right? So my internet is faster than this, but kind of like, you know, you have to use a download manager to get those high enough reading, right? Yeah, now you're talking. Like we are getting 2.2 MB per second. This should be what I am getting. Like there are so many people in the Wi-Fi, so it may be why, right? So open the command, like, you know, folder here and kind of extract it here, and it should extract right now. Yeah, by the way, this is a virtual machine, so yeah, right, it should be like kind of slow, but not so slow because I'm having a good amount of processing power here, right? So yeah, right, we are here, and we should have some kind of a run mozilla.sh. like this should be basically double click to run. You should, or I have to use a terminal. Normally I don't have to use a terminal, like, you know, double click and to basically ask me to display or do something else, right? So is there any way to open terminal? Right, this is an outlet, so yeah, maybe not, right? So what I will go and do is I will open a terminal right now. Terminal, file, new window, cd download. Why is, yeah, right, it is somewhere else, right? cd downloads and tor, right? So yeah, right, let me cd in once more, and why not once more, /start tor browser. This should basically start, right? So yeah, connect. It's connecting right now. Right, it's taking some time, loading relay information. Right, so it has basically connected right now, and you can see that if I go to what is my IP address, sys.com, and it should basically like show me my IP address, and this is not at all true, because again this is a Tor proxy, right? And I'm not connecting to my own Tor proxy, like which we made earlier, right? This is basically a new Tor proxy. New Tor proxy means like this Tor browser has its own Tor and everything, right? So let's try to access this website. And yeah, I have already like saved it to here. I'm basically a Cinnamon user, so don't judge me by that, right? And it is not there, right? So have I deleted it? It doesn't matter, because we really have this terminal. We can just do cat hostname, and it should basically show us, right? And copy this thing, paste it here. So it is connecting. See, now I am on Tor, right? This VM is totally having a local IP. This is not at all having a IP. This is like port 4 or something like that. I can directly show you my IP, because it is not at all a IP which you can use to track me or anything like that. So let me go and kind of like, you know, go to wired settings. We should be here any moment right now, right? So yeah, right, you can basically see that I am connected to wire network, and you can see that 192.168.24 this is actually a private IP range. If you don't believe me, like I can basically prove that by copying this thing, going to this what is my IP address.com slash IP slash this thing, right? So this should basically give me an idea of this thing, and this basically says that this is a private IP. So this is not at all what you see in the real web. The real web doesn't have this IP, like real web doesn't have this IP whatsoever, and this is actually local IP, right? So how I am connecting, right? I am actually kind of using Tor to my advantage. Tor is actually kind of hosting my website in the Tor network, and what happens is they have so many relays and stuff. I don't know, going deep, right? This is basically broading stuff. You have so many relays, and I will connect to an entry relay, and it will basically go through exit relay, and it will basically go to your web browser. So if you are using Tor browser like I am using, what will happen is you will be basically connecting to a entry node and basically asking if this onion IP, like onion website, do you know it, right? And it will basically like guide you to the onion website, and it will have some random IP at that moment, and you will be getting the website, and this will be random. I'm quoting random, like it is not at all a real IP. You won't get my real IP by basically using this, right? So this is basically a positive thing, like you're like, you know, an anonymous server, like no one knows about you, right? But one more thing you can do is that most of the people don't know, and most of the people kind of know, but they don't understand, is you just, like, you know, it is not just limited to web hosting. You can host SSH, you can host whatever, right? So this is actually very good, because if you are developing something like, you know, for example, IoT solution, you can basically bundle it with Tor, and you can have it basically connect in anywhere in the world, right? And it basically needs Tor, like both devices Tor, you are in, like, you know, internet. It is like perfect. It's like, you know, you are in a network of, like, you know, kind of LAN kind of thing, right? Right. So that is that. Anyway, now let's move to SSH, right? So SSH local host, you should give me a connection reference, because I haven't set up SSH, like have I set up, right? You can see that systemctl start httpd, right? This is only needed for my distro. Like you might not need for Ubuntu, like you might not, I'm not even saying you might not, you don't need it for Ubuntu. You install apt, install Apache 2, you will be basically like, you know, kind of, you have to use sudo for these kind of things, and after installing it will be like, you know, already working. Like you'll be having a Ubuntu test page, like, you know, if you are using Debian, you will have Debian test page, everything will be like perfect. And I don't have a PHP right now, so yeah, PHP won't be processed right now. I may not know, like this is a Fedora distro which is for workstation. So workstation, you have most of the things, like these are Jelly Bean things, right? You need to have a web server, you need to have a SSH server, right? So I am not boring you anymore. Like let's go to systemctl start sshd. So this should start SSH in my distro, right? Well, if you were in Ubuntu, you have to use apt install open SSH server -server. So this should basically install the SSH server in your distro, right? And for me, it is already installed, and it is just like, you know, you have to start it. So I have started it, and it should basically like kind of let me connect to localhost. So let me do SSH Abraham at 127.0.0.0.1, right? Let me enter my secure password here. Okay, I am in. Perfect, wonderful, awesome, right? I am in. The problem is I am into a system which is actually connected via LAN. I mean, like the loop is also a LAN, right? So it is connected via LAN. What if I need to access this in my Arch Linux PC, right? What if I need to access it in my Arch Linux PC? Don't worry, because we have forwarded it via the tool, right? I have shown you the config. See, config, where is the config, right? Start tool browser, you're right. Okay, so it was a tab. I forgot about that, right? I was done, right? Right. So you can see that I have forwarded the port 22. Port 22 means it is actually SSH. So yeah, for those people who don't know, apt install nmap, right? So I should use yum, and I am already root, so no sudo. So yeah, nmap, not nmap, what, right? All this always happens, right? So installing this should take a moment. This is actually 5 MB, so you should basically take a moment. I don't know what like, you know, if my HNet allows me to have a better connection. Like, this is India. Like, you don't get, like, you know, pretty good connection here. Like, and I'm not saying, like, you know, my connection is pretty bad. Like, it is good. It's good enough. At least for me, it's good enough, right? So nmap 127.0.0.1 as root. Like, as root, you can see, like, I am actually having like 80, 631, 950, and you can see that 22 is open, and that is SSH, right? So we are basically hosting SSH right now, right? We are somewhere, right? So let's do cat hostname again. Copy this thing, minimize this, go to my system. My system is not at all connected to that. Maybe, like, you know, via LAN, but you can consider as something else, like totally a new system. Just go right and type in proxychains. I have already run tow here. Tow has to be running, right? And I am using the same config there and here, right? You have seen me copy from my distro to that distro. Proxychains, and put here SSH Abhiram at that address. It is connecting, trying to connecting. Should take a moment because it has to go through all the relays, and I got a connection. Let me enter the password right now. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and I am in, right? So yeah, I'm in. Like, I can basically go, like, you know, cd/yum install, maybe, like, you know, be as root, so sudo yum install, and right. This is one of the problems with Tor. You might get some disconnections. Your network has to be rock stable. Yeah, mine is not, so sometimes you may have to disconnect, right? So yeah, close that thing, right? Close, open a new terminal, going root. No, there is no need for root, but I ran the command as root, and I have the SSH, so it will basically give me command history unified of everything, right? So I am in, and yum install, maybe like a stop screen fetch. So I have to run it as root. Control A should basically put me to the front. So I am entering the password, right? Installing, perfect, amazing, fabulous, fantastic, whatever, right? Yeah, installed. Screen fetch. This is a Fedora distribution. Screen fetch. Archlinux distribution, Fedora distribution, not the same, not at all the same, right? So yeah, what we learned from this, right? Tor is amazing. Tor is amazing. Let me put, like, open a new document here. Control N, right? Let me open a document here. what we learned. Tor is amazing. 2. Tor lets you connect to PC which has no public IP. 3. I haven't said it yet. Tor URL don't change unless you change them. And 4th one, you can get anonymity in the web using Tor. Then 5, it is completely free. 6th one, you can forward any port using Tor. So yeah, that's it about Tor. So in the next video we'll be kind of hacking Google, like Colab, right? Colab, what if we can basically use Tor to basically port forward SSH, VNC, those kind of things, and get access. Don't try it. I am showing it just for science. You can do that. Tor is amazing. You can use it for any platform whatsoever, right? Don't use it for negative stuff. I am legally doing that because I am not illegally doing anything, right? In the Colab, like I can basically just browse this as a virtual machine. It is basically a virtual machine, and it's linked to my account, so Google knows I am doing this stuff, and if I do something wrong, they can basically screw me, right? So don't take this as like to fully anonymous when you're using in a Colab or some kind of servers, right? So that's it for today's video, and I hope you learned something.